Hello, Matriman, you're watching Northeast Express on HornbillTV. The 3-day total shutdown called in Naga inhabited areas continued on Wednesday, with supporters intensifying enforcement at key points and halting movements of security forces in several locations. At Nune Bazar along National Highway 37, a large number of Assam rifle vehicles were stopped by volunteers backing the shutdown. Eyewitnesses said the convoy had been held up for over an hour as protesters blocked the road and refused passage. In a show of solidarity, a large number of women volunteers from Chiru, Rongme, Chote and Aimol communities also came out in support of the shutdown. Meanwhile, tension was also reported from Yangkain Pokpi Bazar along National Highway 202 Imphal to Krul Road, where the situation remained highly volatile. According to a local journalist, even central security forces were prevented from moving through the areas amid the ongoing shutdown enforcement. Ukhrul town, meanwhile, wore a deserted look, with markets shut and vehicular movement remaining negligible as the shutdown continued to take effect. The continued blockade of highways and restriction of movement of both civilian and security vehicles indicate a hardening stance by shutdown supporters, further paralyzing normal life across the affected hill districts. A woman protester identified as Saminder Kaur, a Hindi teacher, expressed deep concern over the prevailing security situation during a mass protest held at Chengmairong along the Imphal to Dimapur road on Wednesday. Speaking at the protest, she said the agitation stems from prolonged insecurity and recent killings that have shaken public confidence in Manipur. She alleged that since 2023, armed elements have been attacking civilians, burning homes and forcing many families to take shelter in relief camps. Referring to the Tronglaupe incident, Kaur claimed that 2 children, a 5-year-old boy and a 5-month-old infant, were shot dead while sleeping with their mother at night. She added that their father is a personnel of the border security force posted at the border, while the mother was also injured in the attack. She demanded that those responsible for the killing be identified, arrested and their weapons seized. Highlighting the climate of fear, Kaur said many areas have effectively turned into red zones, restricting the movement of children and youth and leaving families anxious about their safety. Meanwhile, protests were also reported from several locations across Imphal, including Lamlong Bazar under 10 Union Kurai, Lapupat Tera in Imphal West and Kuman Lampak in Imphal East, among other areas, until the filing of the report.
जी, पहले तो अपना नाम बताइए।
हाँ, मेरा नाम समिंदर कौर, मैं एक हिंदी टीचर हूँ।
और ये प्रोटेस्ट किस लिए हो रहा है और क्या क्या मांगे हैं वो भी बताइए।
ये हमारी थोड़ी सी मांगे हैं। सिंस 2023 से टेररिस्ट लोग हमारे अटैक कर रहे हैं, हमारे प्रजा लोग को बहुत तंग कर रहे हैं, घर जला देना, बहुत सारे लोग बेघर होकर रिलीफ कैंप में रह रहे हैं। उसके बावजूद बीच में थोड़ी सी शांति हो गई थी, हम लोग ने सोचा था ऐसा कि थोड़ी सी शांति हो गई है, मगर फिर त्रोंगलाउबी में 2 बच्चे सो रहे थे, रात को उन्होंने अटैक किया और उनके पापा भी बीएसएफ के जवान है, वो बॉर्डर पे सबकी रक्षा कर रहे हैं और यहाँ पे उनके बच्चे बेघर हो गए, उनके बच्चे गुजर गए। तो उन्होंने रात को अपनी माँ के साथ, बच्चे सो रहे थे, एक बच्ची 5 महीने की थी और एक लड़का 5 साल का था, वो दोनों को बम लग के वो दोनों मर गए और उनकी मम्मी को भी चोटें आई। तो उसकी प्रोटेक्ट में 3 लड़कों को भी गोली लगी, 3 आदमियों को गोली लगी और वो भी गुजर गए। फिर उसके लिए हम लोग प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं। सरकार कुछ भी इनिशिएट नहीं ले रही, शायद ले भी रही होगी मगर हमें तो नहीं लग रहा कि कुछ ले रही है। तो सारे मणिपुर की प्रजा बहुत दुखी भी है और बहुत गुस्से में भी है कि इतना कुछ हो रहा है, फिर क्यों नहीं इसकी कुछ वो निकल रही है, कुछ भी मतलब सफलता नहीं हो रही है। सरकार बोल रही है कि हम लोग कर रहे हैं मगर कुछ भी हमें रिजल्ट नहीं दिखाई दे रहे हैं। और फिर हमारे बच्चे लोग, जवान लोग फ्रीली वहाँ यहाँ नहीं घूम पा रहे हैं। यहाँ तक जाते हैं तो वो जोन हो जाता है, रेड जोन हो जाता है, इस तरफ जाते हैं तो रेड जोन हो जाता है। तो मतलब फ्रीली कहीं भी नहीं जा सकते। और माँ बहन लोग भी हमेशा डरते रहते हैं कि हमारे बेटे कहाँ गए, ना कुछ हो जाए। रात को हम लोग शांति से सो भी नहीं पाते हैं, डर लगा रहता है कि कब कहाँ से बम आके गिरेगा, कब कहाँ से मिसाइल आके हमारे घर पे गिरेगी। अब हमारी यही मांग है कि त्रोंगलावी में जो बच्चे मरे हैं उनके कल्प्रिट लोग को, उनके हथियारों को पकड़ा जाए। इसके बीच में इतना कुछ हो रहा है, फिर भी रास्ते में सिविल लोग 2 तांखुल नागा भाई लोग आ रहे थे लितान में शायद मेरे ख्याल से, तो वहाँ से आ रहे थे, तो फिर उनको भी उन्होंने अटैक करके तुरंत एम्बुश करके तुरंत उनको भी मार दिया। तो मैतेई लोग के साथ जो हो रहा है उसके बावजूद कुकी लोग का आप लोग देखिए, गंदी बहादुरी देखिए, वो लोग नागा लोग को भी अटैक कर रहे हैं। तो ये सब ऐसा चलते रहा तो फिर मणिपुर पूरा वैनिश हो जाएगा, मणिपुर नाम का कोई चीज़ ही नहीं रहेगा। तो ये है, इसलिए हमारी सरकार से यही अपील है कि जितनी जल्दी हो सके हमारे मणिपुर के ऊपर अपनी नज़र दौड़ाए और हमारे मणिपुर प्रजा को थोड़ी सी शांति दिलाएं। मैं इतना कहना चाहती हूँ बस।
In an operation against drugs, a joint operation of 38 Assam Rifles and Kachar Police has recovered 10,000 Yaba tablets along with cash of 14,90,000 rupees and 1.32 mm pistol from Jorkal Forest Village under Kanchutaram Police Station in Kachar district. It is a major success in the operation led by Police Superintendent of Lakhipur, Co-District of Kachar Police, Prithviraj Rajkawa, along with 38 Assam Rifles. During a search in a house in Jorkal Forest Village found under Kachutaram Police Station, the operation team recovered 10,000 narcotic Yaba tablets hidden in 2 plastic boxes, about 23 grams of heroin, 1.32 mm pistol and 1 air gun, along with cash of 14,90,000 rupees. Along with this, 1 woman was arrested. At present, a case has been registered against the woman under the NDPS Act and Kachar Police is conducting further investigation, informed Prithviraj Rajhola talking to the media on Tuesday evening. He further said that the seized goods would be worth rupees 1.5 crore in the black market.
हम लोग को एक इन्फॉर्मेशन था कि एक घर में इलीगल एनडीपीएस सब्सटेंसेस का बिक्री हो रहा है। ये कसुरडम थाना का जरखाल बोल के एक फॉरेस्ट विलेज है, वहाँ पे इन्फॉर्मेशन आया था। तो हम लोगों ने आसाम राइफल्स और कछार पुलिस ने एक ऑपरेशन लॉन्च किया और वहाँ पे हम लोग एक घर को सर्च किया है और ड्यूरिंग द सर्च इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंट विटनेसेस हम लोग को कुछ एनडीपीएस सब्सटेंसेस और कुछ आर्म्स भी हम लोग को मिला है। तो हम लोग को वहाँ पे 10,000 याबा टेबलेट्स मिला है वेइंग 2 किलोस, देन 2 सोप केसेस ऑफ हीरोइन मिला 23 ग्राम का है। उसके अलावा हम लोगों को एक 0.32 पिस्टल मिला है और एक विथ बाइनोकुलर टेलीस्कोपिक एयरगन मिला है और कैश 14,92,000 रुपीज़ वहाँ के घर से बरामद हुआ है। और हम लोगों ने अकॉर्डिंगली एक केस रजिस्टर किया है कसुरडम पीएस केस नंबर 29/2026। अप्रोप्रिएट एनडीपीएस एंड आर्म्स एक्ट का सेक्शन लगा है। एक एक्यूज़ को हम लोगों ने अभी अरेस्ट किया है और 2-3 एक्यूज़ अभी उस जगह से उस समय नहीं थे, तो उन लोग को ट्रेस करने के लिए कर रहे हैं। पैसा का तो आपको बता दिया, अराउंड 15 लाख का पैसा मिला था और एनडीपीएस का जो है वो मार्केट वैल्यू अराउंड 1.5 करोड़ का होगा।
A candlelight vigil was held in Lamka in Manipur over the death of BJP MLA Valte on the eve of a 13-hour shutdown called by Zomi frontal organizations at the Churachandpur Medical College campus, with participants reiterating their demand for justice. The BJP MLA from Thanglung passed away on February 20, 2026 after succumbing to his injuries sustained in a brutal mob assault during the ethnic violence in Manipur in May 2023. Mon Lang, a member of the Zomi Coordination Committee, said that the vigil was organized to express collective anguish and grief over Valte's demise and reiterated their call for a probe and justice from the BJP-led central and state governments. He affirmed that the protests shall continue until the demands are met. He further alleged that Valte was subjected to a premeditated assault during the ethnic violence and urged authorities to complete pending developmental initiatives initiated by the late MLA for his constituency. On May 4, 2023, amid escalating mob violence in Imphal, residents from across the state reportedly took refuge at Valte's residence seeking safety. Concerned about the ongoing clashes and in hope of seeking relief for the people of his constituency, Valte went to the then Chief Minister's house and met him. On the way back, the mob surrounded his car and pulled him out. He was tortured and electrocuted, while his driver was brutally beaten. The driver later succumbed to his injuries. Valte was brought to Delhi and remained on a ventilator for several weeks and stayed in the national capital until he was fully fit and returned to Manipur shortly after. However, the BJP MLA was airlifted to Delhi on February 9 in an air ambulance for a medical checkup following injuries sustained in the attack. After fighting for his life for around 11 days, Valte succumbed to his injuries on February 20.
So our demand is basically to finish what our MLA has been taking up during his lifetime. Basically, what happened was his life was cut short through the premeditated assault by the radical Baitim militants around Pentagon on the 4th of May 2023, which where they have tortured him and his driver Tangolal. Unfortunately, his driver succumbed to his death, and due to the fact that his life was cut short by a human-made disaster. His life was cut short by human-made disaster, and ultimately, all those projects, schemes, developmental activities which he has promised to his people, to his constituency, has remained unfinished. And we are here to ask the government, state and central, to start a proper investigation, with preferably NIA, to start the investigation, test every single perpetrator, bring to us their names of the father, the names of their localities, what they did, and until and unless we see them locked behind the bars, justice will not be delivered. That is our position.
So what, like there are,
Yes.
which is taking the case. So what is the way forward?
So the Zombie Coordination Committee is basically a special purpose vehicle set up by the Zombie organizations to purposefully take up the issue of our late MLA Valte's his untimely death, which was caused by the premeditated assault on the 4th of May 2023. So we are organizing this candlelight visit today to mark 2 months of his untimely death, and to express our collective anguish and grief over the fact that the central government and both the central government and the state government, both under the NDA government, has not acted upon our demand for justice regarding his death and the causes behind his death. and we will also carry forward these protests in any means possible, peaceful of course. Our agitations will be in any format as we would see fit. Our demands have been put forward to the government, to the Delhi government, to the state governments, and they have already known what we have been demanding regarding the idea of justice surrounding our late MLA Valte. Okay.
In an effort to curb illicit poppy cultivation and promote sustainable livelihoods, Manipur Police, in collaboration with the Narcotics Control Bureau (NCB), has launched a community-driven initiative titled Hinchi in Churachampur district. The initiative, which means Seeds of Life, aims to encourage farmers to shift from illegal poppy cultivation to lawful cash crops. 3 vulnerable areas have been identified under the program, with village chiefs and 127 beneficiary households engaged to adopt alternative livelihood options. The project has received Rs 28 lakh in corporate social responsibility (CSR) funding from Segula Technologies, enabling the distribution of around 55,000 kg of ginger seeds, 450 kg of pea seeds and 6,500 banana saplings to farmers. Officials said joint teams of Manipur Police, NCB and local NGO and NRPS will monitor the project and assist farmers with technical support and market linkages. Meanwhile, security forces have intensified search operations across vulnerable areas in Manipur. On April 20, 2 insurgents linked to Pripak Pro and PLA were arrested from the general areas of T. Pongmol under More Police Station in Tengnopal district. In a separate incident on April 21, 2 individuals were arrested in Imphal East district for allegedly instigating violence and attacking security forces near Kodonge crossing along NH2. One of the accused is reportedly a serving police personnel. Additionally, police arrested another individual from Mayang Imphal Tongkong and seized around 270 liters of illicit DIC liquor along with 80 half bottles. The accused and the seized items were handed over to the Excise Department for further action. Security agencies said intelligence-based combing, cordon and search operations will continue across the state to curb insurgent activities, extortion and other criminal activities. Leaders of the state unit of the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) held a meeting with women from Riboi district in Meghalaya to protest the alleged obstruction of the Women's Reservation Bill 2026, also known as the Nari Shakti Vandan Abdimanyan, in the Lok Sabha. The meeting was led by BJP leaders Daniela Nonglait and Anzi A. Sangma and was attended by several party leaders and members from different mandals in the district. Participants criticized opposition parties, including the Indian National Congress, All India Trinamool Congress and Rashtriya Janata Dal, accusing them of blocking the passage of the bill. Speaking at the gathering, Nonglet said women in Meghalaya strongly opposed the alleged obstruction of the legislation, which aims to ensure greater representation of women in the Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. She also noted that women in the state already enjoy significant social empowerment through the matrilineal system and stressed the need to strengthen this through legislative measures.
All be strong, tackle, okay?
Ka Women's Reservation kung panitip ka Nari Shakti Vandan Abhinyan. Katkum ka Constitution Kabalatho Amendment Act Arhajar Arpulai ka mandate of onak mentalai pulai persen kota ban let sha kilong kami ka Lok Sabha bat ka Yeng Dorbar State Assembly kala pas ya kani bat kala minjur unanimously ha ka Arhajar Arpusan bat ban implement ya kani Henry ni ka bill kalong kumbalay kulay persen baru ki seat nak benta kilong kami ban mik mat sya ka parliament Lok Sabha lel ni ka assembly na ka jing ya kani ki jinkin scope kani ka resolution ka reservation ka pelong ya ki district election ka ban kim thu pelang ru ya ki benta schedule drive bat ki schedule cast jongi ki theng ribu kham tam yang ki kom mangi tep ni dei ki ret pat mo me khalaya ki dei kham ret pat tamba ki long kme ni don kam ba ki mi bon ki long kme ya ka don ki ni constitution she's pan rio amendment act 2000 la tep ya ka kong ka nari shakti vendhan abhiyan kabala 1 how april khan rio 2000 rio te na ka ni yang ani kran ki kabenta mi kalaya joni ki ken thei phikum mangi tep bangi dei ki matrilineal society kadai nam dei dei ta ham tang khasi jantia ru ka jo garo ka jo ni shem jaj nakakme kadai nakam dei yakta kadai am te kum mangi ongi tep bagi ken kani kadai ka matrilineal society tapa ka sarkar ki opposition sarkar joni ki reject yakane ka women's reservation ko mangi pan ikan pas ini ke bil jongi, namun tak ka 8,000 gila buah ke sarkar jongi, ke government ke BJP jongi ke labu, kat ba ke Kongres, ke TMC, ke DMK, bat ke Samajwadi, ke objek ya kani, ke objek deh. Ni kong kilong kami hamtam jong kami kalaya mo, ni day pasyam jat sekak kami, syam day bangin day hok bangin yang kong kikin thay, banlong kinong mi kmat ya kari lejong, kadai na kum day mo. We have to stand all together. हम लोग एक साथ खड़ा करने पड़ेगा women के लिए, women representative चाहिए. तो इसलिए मैं आपको बोल रही हूँ, इतना हिंदी भी ज़्यादा नहीं बोलता है, कम बोलता है. फिर भी I'll talk in Khasi but English बुमा. What's going on? Kata jeng bam idoni benta bang amla ban keren tang dak Khasi ru tang dak pareng ru ngah klenang bat Hindi dak pareng. Khasi. Umentri rang ba badon buram jungi. Habai keren bat jong ha television ulang ular ban piteng ye kon ye benta na ka benta ban penia ban penyo kabu ya ki kin thai bakin rong ha po parliament ha lok sabha bat kom ya assembly bakin long ki representative kom ki MLA ki MP ye la rak ha ka ko ha koi kalyang ka baki opposition pare ki jongi kim ai lat ban pas ya takabel ye ki dei bangin yang ningkat bangin oppose ya ka Central Shakti Shakti Bosch bangin peni bangi komki ripa jong kami khalaya ni kwa ba ki women reservation ka dei bandon na menta jongi pi jong ka nong ko mandan ai kule ko ibal.
That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.